Do you remember Anna Bright's pro debut? Where in singles, she went up against Megan Fudge, taking the first game 11-0, and in the second, she was down 1-7, only to come back and win it 12-10. And in doubles, alongside Georgia Johnson, the two of them together absolutely dominated Simone Jardim and Corinne Carr, taking the first game 11-0, the second game 11-4, and the third game 15-3. Coming from having a tennis racket placed in her hands at the age of 3 by her dad, and then taking it seriously by the age of 6, she then experienced a pretty traumatizing experience of breaking her back at the age of 13. Something that was a formative experience that helped shape who she is today. Fast forward to now, at the age of 23, Anna has managed to continuously find her place at the top. She's already earned a couple of gold medals this season, as well as releasing her own signature paddle with global brand JOOLA. This is her story. You good? You need anything?
I'm ready to go.
You need water, snacks?
I'm good.
I cannot.
I know.
What do you think is important for me to understand about who you were as a kid that helped shape who you are today?
I think my childhood was, me being the oldest had a big impact on how I turned out. So I think my dad's love of tennis, so those would be the two biggest driving factors, I'd say.
Yeah. What do you take away from tennis that you brought into pickleball aside from the skill set and the things that you do?
I wouldn't say I'm too much of a thinker about stuff like that, but I think that what made me a good tennis player wasn't the best athlete or anything, but I was really solid and I didn't have bad losses really. I pretty much always beat who I was to beat, and I think that my biggest strengths in tennis were my anticipation, my decision making, my competitiveness, of course, and I didn't make mistakes. And I think pickleball, one reason I'm such a good fit for pickle and why I got very good very quickly is pickleball's, I think, all about those things. You have to be competitive. It's a higher level of intensity. But yeah, you can't make errors. You have to anticipate well. You have to make good decisions. And I'd say those that's like the skill set, right? But I think tennis was such a big part of my life, as it was for a lot of the high-level pickleball players. It's hard to separate, what am I taking from this into this next venture? It's just kind of, it all becomes like who you are.
Yeah, you've been doing this since how old?
My dad had me start at 2 or 3.
That's quite big.
Yeah, there's some funny photos, but I like to say I got serious at 6. I pretty much got very serious about tennis at 6 years old.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's just like a part of who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of tennis, North Carolina just passed. You played with James, and then you also brought in someone the pro pickleball scene that's never seen before. It's going to be awesome. I'm pronouncing your last name right?
Yeah, you are.
Walk me through what went into that decision and the thought process, and also the preparation for that. Because you guys had a great show. It was awesome. It was super exciting to watch. It's great to see an unfamiliar face, but an unfamiliar face that's able to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, so Vivian and I were very, very good friends. She was one of my very best friends in college for freshman year. We both went to Cal for a year, and then she later transferred, which was really sad. But so we drifted a little, as is normal. Always would speak and really love each other, but wouldn't speak too regularly. But she got into pickleball, and a couple months ago, she actually asked me for 4 or 5 tournaments, and I was like, no way. You've never played a pro event, no way. But she was playing with Carolina, and she needed a partner anyways because her partner couldn't play last minute, and I was actually trying to help her find a partner. But then, who I was supposed to play with couldn't play, and I didn't have a lot of time to find another partner, just a couple hours because the PPA needed to finalize the draws. And I called 7 or 8 women who I felt I had a chance to win with. And once I didn't really feel like I was going to have a chance to win, I figured, one of my best friends is already playing, and I might as well kind of take a chance on her and just have some fun and let's see. Because it was actually her third pro event, but her prior two were APPs where the level is definitely lower. So it was her first time playing at this stage, against women of this level. And obviously it worked out amazing. She was a lot better than I thought she was going to be. And really, really happy with how everything went. And I had a great time. That's a big thing. We both had such a good time. After we played that day, after a bronze, we went and got food. We just sat in my rental car and talked for a couple hours. Like, it was one of those nights when you feel like really alive. Like, it's like, wow, my heart feels really full. It was a great day.
Yeah, you guys won with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned winning and like selecting partners. What else is important? Not that wanting to win, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, what else do you prioritize throughout like your experience when you playing pro or just the experience in pickleball?
I would say honestly, to be candid, the most important thing is like wanting to win, playing with people you think you can win with. There's comes into that. I'd say the most important thing is game style. I feel like as I've developed as a player now, I think some of those intangibles are a little more important, like energy. Do you vibe well? So that matters more to me now, but the most important thing is, do I feel like I can win this person?
Yeah. You say that was like the highlight of your career?
Playing with Vivian?
Yeah, and like performance?
No, I wouldn't say it was the highlight of my career. Like on a whole, had a lot of great results and great times at playing with James. I really love playing with James, but probably the most fun I've had with a female, just like outright fun. I wouldn't say I would choose that day necessarily over like my first PPA title, but like I had such a great day. I just felt really satisfied.
Yeah, sweet. It's been like a difficult point in your career. I know it's only it's relatively short. But yeah.
Yeah, my career's been very short. I haven't had to deal with, people talking about, has she like fallen off? I mean, that may happen one day. Maybe I actually am, or maybe I'm just in a slump. I haven't really had that yet. Hope not to, but it's pretty common in athletics and in life. You go through seasons. It means you're burned out. Sometimes you're not playing at your best. But I would say it was honestly very hard for me when I broke out. I broke out in late February of 2022, and just a week later, I had a tournament where I didn't do near as well as my last, and there's a lot of noise, and I was very stressed out about everything. It's like, am I going to quit my job? Like, I was thinking I was going to quit my job, but then it's like, I just didn't do well. Am I not? Getting inundated, right? Like, PPAs contacting me, APP, MLP. So that was a very stressful time. It's like, you're so new. And especially then, when pickleball was so fragmented, it was really hard to know what was going on, being thrust in the middle of all these competing organizations. So that was that was a tough time. I was really stressed out. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't sleep for like 6 weeks. But in hindsight, it really wasn't that difficult. I've been very blessed. Nothing has been altogether too trying. Yeah, I don't really have a great answer other than that.
How did you navigate that? Like 6 weeks of not sleeping, and like just the stress.
Yeah, I mean, I slept some, right? I did end up quitting my job, and which was made easier because Jill Braverman, who's now playing in PPA tournament at the time, she was the CEO of Duke, and she actually recruited me to work for them. So I worked for Duke for a few months, and that was really great for me because that made me feel like I could take this chance on pickleball and see, because I was still going to be able to work and play, but I didn't have to, deal with working, full time in a non-pickleball capacity. So that was really huge and helped me make the decision to kind of make the leap and give it a go. And obviously it ended up working out for me. And eventually that didn't make sense for me anymore either. But it was weird. It was a very weird, very strange time in hindsight. Like, there was so much good going on, but there was a lot of stress and anxiety and a lot of unknowns and a lot of just for the people in pickleball who are already in it, you kind of understand the ecosystem better, but just being thrust in and kind of thrust in the middle of everything was a lot.
Yeah. You're talking about the beginning of your career. Never mind the APP event. You were playing with Georgia.
Yeah.
So,
Korean card.
That's great. that was fucking crazy. Like,
That was crazy, yeah.
I was talking with him, it's just like, holy fuck, is right? This person is just like going like bananas out there. You were just like firing away, like constantly speeding up, and like just very, like it looked like madness, but it's obviously like every ball was either going straight or down. It's like everything had a down trajectory, and you're just like lighting people up. So it was like awesome to watch. Super like exciting, and I feel like it added a huge element to the game where it made other people be like, yeah, if we don't fix where we're playing, then we're just gonna keep getting beat.
Yeah, I actually think it's interesting. I feel like before, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like before I kind of broke in and was speeding up a lot of two-handed backhands off the bounce, two-handed backhands like from being pretty extended, I feel like people kind of thought only Anna Leigh could do it. Because at the time, only Anna Leigh dated predominantly with two hands, and then I did it, and now I feel like you actually see it pretty commonly, and I think it's just an example of how the game is continuing to evolve, you know, and as people do new things, people are gonna realize like, oh, like, I can figure that out too, and I think that's something that's really, really exciting about pickleball and about where it's at.
You have like guys like Jackson, and James played against, and Leigh. I'm sure you guys have like different takeaways that you have from the experience, and hopefully he's not the last person to come from tennis, introduce different elements. But what we were doing in James' mind, following that loss, how you calibrate, what you talk about.
In all honesty, that loss was pretty difficult. You know, everyone was rooting for us, all of our friends. But it was just a strange match. We didn't really know what to do. We were, you know, we'd never seen Jack play before. We don't know his skill set. He's playing with Anna Leigh, who was obviously a total stud. But I was particularly unhappy with myself because I was very affected by Jack. Not his play, but his trash talk and was like nothing else, and it affected me, and I felt a little bit. I've played against the other, you know, big shit talkers in the game, right? And it's never bothered me, really. Maybe sometimes Julian does annoy me, but I've told that to him to his face, and he knows. He knows it can be kind of annoying sometimes, and it's good for him. You know, it fires him up, it fires me up. But I felt a little bit, embarrassed for losing, and a little like ashamed of how Jack affected me and that affected my play, but then also just upset about everything he said too. There's like two levels to it, right? It's like feeling upset just because of it, and then there's feeling upset with yourself because it affected you. I'd say my emotions after that match were pretty complex, but we bounced back strong, and we ended up having a great day. We won 3 straight matches in the back draw, and they all felt great, so that's something James and I are always going to compete in the back. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, like, there's different sides of losing. Losing physically to someone who's just better than you. Not saying Jack is just
No, he was better. Like, that match, like, I think if we played it again, we would play differently and we would do better, but it still would not be a guarantee that we would win. I mean, Jack is better than me, I mean, obviously. Like, he's a man, he's super athletic. You know, maybe my backhand dink is better than his, but on the whole, like, I would definitely not say I'm better than him. Yeah, sorry, I don't know where you were going with that.
But, I mean, some people also just have a good day, and some people also just have like a bad day. But
yeah,
I guess like what I was getting at is there's also that side where losing, like, you let him kind of get under your skin, right?
Yeah.
And that could also be a very like tactical, strategic move on his part.
Absolutely.
Like, cool, if this works, and they keep going like this after like, the remarks that I'm making. Like, how do you bring that forward into your playing in the future?
Oh, it's just, you know, I'm gonna have to thicker skin. So I'm not saying that he's like not a nice guy or anything like that. It's just on court, you know, it rattled me and it was really unexpected. And it's just like I'm gonna have to be tougher next time. I don't think there's anything else to it, you know. It's dumb to even try to say it back or explain or anything. You know, it's like I'd say it and you'd be like, oh, okay, but it was just different. It's really all I can say and all I want to say.
Yeah. So we got to see like the new paddle. We haven't even talked about that yet, but Like, then that's Colin. He's now BRIANLIM. He has his JOOLA as well. Now you have your own. So like, what were you using before this? Were you using Volair?
Yeah, I was using the Volair.
Oh, you want to talk about this paddle thing?
Sure, I'll say a bit. It's kind of similar to the Volair and Hyperion. The main they've done some things to make they've changed the carbon fiber. It's all too techy for me. The main things I can say, it's more powerful, still just as responsive, even more so on anything soft. And it's very maneuverable. It's very lightweight, and they've really embraced a philosophy in which the grip is also very small. So if you want a heavier paddle, you can add weight to it. If you want a bigger grip, you can add an over grip, add multiple over grips. But I really like it. It's very lightweight, very maneuverable, similar shape, big sweet spot, and I'm really excited for everyone to try it. This is 14 millimeters, Colin's is 16, so that will give you a little less pop, a little more forgiveness, but I need a little bit less than that than Colin, a little more deadly, accurate, and precise. So yeah, I'm excited for everyone to give it a try.
Sweet. What's been the highlight of your career so far?
The highlight of my career, probably either winning that first Punta Gorda tournament or winning Major League Pickleball in Newport Beach in 2022 with, being on the same team as James. Because I think that it'll be a while until we'd ever be able to be on the same team again. But that was really special.
What is it about winning?
I don't know what it is about winning. It's all better than losing.
There's just like financial implications. There's like there's validation. There's a lot of things that you could just feel from also being someone, following and pursuing your dreams and goals. Like you quit your job and said, so
yeah,
definitely contributes to that.
Yeah, I mean, probably validation, but I feel like when you're really locked in competitively, it's like you're not really thinking about anything, and after the fact I'm usually not thinking about anything either. I don't really know what it is. I've always been very, very competitive, like even stupidly so, right? Like I was pretty much guaranteed a full ride to college. Well, I was, unless I chose to go Ivy, but I chose to like grind hard in grades, and I was like valedictorian in my high school, like for no real good reason, entirely unnecessary, but just really stupid competitive in pretty much most facets of my life, anything I cared about. So I don't really know what it is about winning. I don't know. It's just a drive to win, and I think some people definitely have it more than others, and it can be a benefit, it can be a detriment. I'm definitely more competitive than my sisters. But I like how I am. I wouldn't change it.
Yes, that's a great thing. What do you want people to take away from your career besides the fact that you work?
I'm not unique in loving winning. I think most everyone who's very, very good does. What do I want to take away from my career? I mean, it's kind of a cheesy answer, but I would like to be, remembered, well liked, like respected. I intend to always be in pickleball. I think, I don't know how long I'll play. I definitely do not see myself just playing and grinding and traveling, 30 plus weekends of the year for, the foreseeable future. Definitely a couple more years of that. But then I don't know what'll be next for me, but I want to, lots of doors to be open for me because people like me, and that's kind of what I'm going for, and naturally how I am, like my, I don't even like brand and everything. Decently funny, decently likable. That's kind of what I want people to think and to enjoy about me. And ideally to think I'm. I can't think of the phrase I want to say, but I don't even know. Just move. Let's move on. I'm sorry. It's tip of my tongue. Something.
So you were competitive at a very young age. You started tennis, and you had a racket in your hand at 3, you were competitive by 6. What was like your dream for tennis player? Aside from like, was there some type of like impact that you wanted to have? Is there something that you wanted to leave in the sport?
No, I wouldn't say so. It's just something I did. I my dream was not really to be the best player in the world either. It's weird. I don't really think that you can, like, it's tough. It's just like, it's like every day you go play tennis with your dad, and that's just what you do. It's not like something you think about too much. It's not really something you compare to other kids, or it's just kind of like intrinsic to who you are is the best way to describe it. I was really good. Like when I was 12, 13, I was number 1 in the class, 2, maybe kind of going back and forth, but I was a stud. Then I got hurt, and I kind of knew that I didn't want to go pro. I didn't love tennis as much as a lot of other kids loved tennis, or I kind of realized that when I was on my college tennis team, right? I would always want it to rain. I didn't want to practice, but I was just really good competitor. I really liked to win matches, and I was really good at winning matches, but I didn't practice as much as other kids. Just very talented, but never had any big, huge goals or dreams. Like rankings didn't mean altogether too much to me. I don't know, I think it's a little bit odd. I've never been one to think too far ahead or to be too goal driven on like one thing to achieve. Just kind of wanting to be as good as I can be, and I love pickleball way more than I ever loved tennis. Sure, I really love pickleball. It's so fun. Yeah, for sure. It's more fun. It's more immediately rewarding as well, right? Like in pickleball, it's also intimate. The same patterns come up repeatedly. Tennis, it's not like you hit. In pickleball, you can hit a good speed up, and someone will immediately miss. In tennis, you can hit a good shot, and it doesn't set you up for to hit the winner. It's really hard to. It's really hard, and I like the community of pickleball. It's just more fun on the whole. I think almost everything. Pickleball is not a more difficult game, but I do think it's a better game for the masses.
Yeah, for sure. Really, it's clearly speaking, based on the number of people playing. If you could talk back to your 11-year-old self, what would you tell her?
I probably wouldn't tell her much of anything. I am really so happy and so thankful with how my life has turned out. I think I have been super, super blessed. I keep feeling like I deserve to get hit by a bus. I deserve to get it, just because I've been so lucky. And my sisters have had more things happen to them that have been difficult than I have. And part of that is probably disposition or something, but I think almost all of it is just luck. And so I keep feeling like something should happen to me, right? The toughest time in my life was probably when I was 13, 14 and recovering from fracturing my back, and I was homeschooled and I was lonely, and my tennis was, I wasn't playing well because I was scared of hurting myself, and I had to take almost a year off. But really that's not that hard, so I feel very lucky. I'd probably just tell myself, that that's going to happen, but you're going to go back into public school and you're going to be so happy. You're going to love it. And just to probably try to be a little bit better to my parents during that time. But I have a great relationship with them now. I've been really lucky, so I wouldn't want to do anything to create a big butterfly effect. Yeah. Pretty much, I'd say.
Oh, awesome. Your mom put out some sick apparel.
Picklepeacock.com.
Picklepeacock.com. Yeah, really appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this, and congrats on getting your own signature pattern.
Woo!
Yeah. Sweet.
Buy it, boys especially. Buy it.
There you go. Jack Sock, she's talking to you.
That would be funny. That would be sick. I would love that. He could beat me with my own paddle, and I would say thank you.
Sweet. Thanks, Anna. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Holy crap. Thank you. This is sweet.